What are your name and pronouns?
My name is Melody, and my pronouns are he, him.
All right, and how do you identify?
I identify as a transgender male.
All right. Can you tell me a bit about your VTuber model or persona?
Yeah, so I'm primarily a artist and lewdtuber. I dabble in adult work mainly, but I also do a lot of like video games and I sell prints and artwork and stuff like that as well.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so how did you ensure that your model represented you?
So I really dived into my childhood for that one and sort of like took inspiration because when I was younger, my mum used to always tell me and my siblings that we came from a line of witches. So that's where I really plucked that initial inspiration from, and then it's just evolved from there based on my interests in like anime and stuff like that.
Was there any like design aspects that you felt like you really had to include to kind of express yourself the best to your ability?
Yeah, so my model has very visible top surgery scars. Being trans, I really wanted to have an easily identifiable way to display to other trans people that I was one of them on my model, so that was pretty important to me. And also, like, just the tattoos. I have tattoos on my stomach, on my model, and they are eyes, which sort of like, to me, was a bit symbolic of the way I felt really watched and like monitored growing up in regards to my identity. So yeah.
Oh yeah, and so then the question is, what drew you to VTubing, and do you find it rewarding?
Yeah, so I was initially drawn to VTubing because I was inspired by Iron Mouse. I have a chronic illness, and to see another VTuber in the space with a chronic illness sort of like, it sort of made me go, oh, that's kind of cool. And then when I joined the community initially as a fan, I met a bunch of trans VTubers and followed them and thought, actually, this could be really good for me personally, even beyond the ability to do something similar to somebody I look up to. It could also just be really good for my identity. And yeah, I just went from there.
Hell yeah. It's actually really interesting. You went through Iron Mouse. I think everyone kind of has their own experiences. Like, oh, I found her this VTuber, or this VTuber inspired me. For me personally, it was like Shy Lily. But
Yeah.
I saw like, I don't know, I saw like Shy Lily clips and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. I want to be a VTuber. And so, yeah. I think it's really interesting that, Iron Mouse, being a disabled person, like, still going through VTubing and pushing through the pain every single day and all the struggles and still managing to make it to the top. I can only imagine just how inspiring it would be to anybody like her, And I think it's really cool that you took inspiration from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's amazing.
Completely agree on that one. All right, so can you share some of the highs and lows of your journey being transgender in the VTubing space?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll start with the lows and then go to the highs. So, yeah, no, I think starting out was definitely the hardest part of the journey. I was quite sheltered growing up, so I was quite sensitive when I came into this community, and it wasn't easy for me to deflect the transphobia that I would get whenever I went live. Especially because being new to this space where nobody knew me and I was really trying to be myself, I wanted to, as I said earlier with the mention of my top surgery scars, be as visibly transgender as possible, so that I could meet people like me. And so I would cover my model in buttons and flags and stuff like that. And it just drew so many, like, trolls in the beginning. A lot of, like, transphobic bots with, like, slurs in their usernames and stuff like that. And I would see them come in and I would end stream early and just like cry. I would just be so sad because, you know, it wasn't something I was used to. But I made, on the flip side, it did help me find people that will like me, make friends that I could talk to who were also in the creation community, which leads me into my positives of these people, meeting these people that pushed me to be my best and do my best on my streams and really helped me navigate the content creation field emotionally so that I was more emotionally stable in order to deal with these people. I had strategies now because I had friends that I could bounce off.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I'm glad that you had like somebody to like, you started to have like friends around you that could help you like, you know, kind of look past the negativity and you know, see like the net positive within it, you know?
Yeah, and ultimately, in current day, it's pretty much like a 99% positive experience. I very rarely have anything negative happen anymore.
Hell yeah, that's very good to hear. You're not the only one. I feel like a lot of people have expressed, you know, mostly positivity on the end. You know, they do have some negative experiences, but for the most part, it seems to be pretty positive, which is, it's kind of like what I like to hear is to know that, you know, people, you know, overall, there's still things that happen, bad things that happen sometimes, but at the end of the day, there's more positive in it than there is negative, and that keeps people coming back, you know?
Yeah.
So would you say that VTubing has helped you discover more about yourself?
Absolutely. Like, it sort of helped me open up a more like broad definition of what it means to be a trans man. Because when I think I figured out I was transgender at about 9 years old. I didn't know the word for it, but that's when I started figuring out that I felt more like a boy.
Yeah.
But in my brain, being a boy had a very set definition because of the way that I grew up. You know, very masculine, lumberjack, flannel, police officer, you know, military, stuff like that. And really like entering into the VTuber space first as a fan and then later as content creator really opened up my mind to the possibilities of the way that I could express myself and that it wasn't limited.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Okay, and so then my final question for you, right? This one's a bit of a doozy, and you can answer however you wish. What would you say to somebody who was looking at VTubing as an option to being their truest self in content creation?
I would say absolutely reach for the stars, you know. Obviously, like, you know, put heaps of research into it, but I absolutely think there is no harm in trying. You know, starting out with PNG, just pressing that go live button, getting some practice in there, and, you know, just feeling yourself, really, just letting yourself be on stream, reaching out to people and trying to make community, make friends. It's probably the best way to start out content creation is definitely by just going for it and making friends.
Yeah, no, exactly. I very much appreciate that response. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want people to know about your experiences or your journey?
I guess just like, you know, don't let anyone other than yourself define you, because ultimately at the end of the day, in order for you to be happy in your content creation journey, you have to be happy in what you are doing, and the way that you conduct yourself should just be a reflection of both who you are but also who you would like to be, because a little bit of the phrase fake it till you make it, but in a way of like, you know, aiming to be your truest self, so not really faking it.